Hello and welcome to Promenade Française, and also you could say hi to Gordon D. Gordon, Mr. Gordon D. Gordon, Gordy Gord, who is just sitting here very patiently, and he's just being nice, and because he wants to go outside and he wants to go for a walk, and then he wants to come back and he wants to eat. He's a hungry, hungry dog. Isn't that right, Gordy Gord? You're a hungry, hungry dog. Huh? Ow. This time, I think he knows he's on. He knows there's witnesses. He just wanted to tell everyone how aggressive he is. Yeah, right. All right. So what's going on now? We finished our daily challenge, our monthly challenge, our spring challenge. We officially did 90 days of French, and I'm just wow. So we finished it. Oh no, Gordon, what did you do? Okay, good. We finished that challenge, and now we are starting a new challenge. What's that new challenge? Well, let me talk about it. Let's have a little chat about our new challenge. Let's share this window. This is exercise. This is unit 1, lesson 1. This is what it's all about. And I'm just okay. The audio works good. Okay, so our audio's on. Everything is all good. Okie dokie dokie. Now, well, traditional French channels and traditional French learning is really focused on the textbook, the exercise book, video instruction or in-person instruction, and student practice or real-world practice. Those are the 4 pillars of French education. In fact, why don't we just put those right inside of here? Well, maybe not here. Let's put it inside of here. This is a nice place to put it, actually. This is the boardroom table. Now, you might be wondering, what in the heck is this? What are you doing? What are you doing? All right, so we got the French textbook, France textbook, and we have the what? The French exercise book, and then we have what? We have the teacher in person or video online, and then we have the student practice or real world practice. That's it. I mean, that's basically what you're going to get. It doesn't matter where you go in the world. If you're going to study a language, this is all there is to it. They're going to give you a textbook and they say, hey, you're going to follow the education in the textbook. And then they're going to give you an exercise book. And then they're going to say, do the exercises in the exercise book. And then they're going to give you some teacher in person, or they're going to give you some online videos. And then you're going to watch the videos. The videos are going to help you to go through the textbook, and then they might even help you with the exercise book. Finally, you're going to have some kind of student practice where there's other students that you can talk to, or maybe you're going to talk to a tutor. So we could say student slash tutor practice, or real world practice. That's it. That's language right there. That's how you study language. There is nothing confusing about this at all. And then I decided to make it much, much more complicated. I don't know why, but I just decided, hey, why did I make this more complicated than it needs to be? So I created a little project that I'm calling iRobot Study Buddy. The danger of the past was that men became slaves. The danger of the future is that men become robots. Now, you might be wondering, why did you put this iRobot calibration? You will never be able to access previously loaded documents in the future. Why did I paste this right here? You don't really need to read that. This is like it's because it's kind of crazy story, actually. I use Google Gemini, and Gemini decided that it wanted to cause a problem with me today because Google finally kind of, I guess they realized that their system is good enough that people will pay for it. And then now you have like limits. And I don't know what the limit was. I don't know why they decided on that limit, but basically they gave me a limit. So what happened was, let's see if we have our friend. We call him Arrowhead right now. All right. So what happened earlier today is that, all right, so I did quite a bit of work with Gemini. So maybe it should never reach the limit before in one day. I mean, I guess we could look at it from the perspective of time. Yeah, probably. Okay, so I definitely used my limit. So, okay, so here, yes, I understand. Here's my understanding of your plan. You will provide answers to 7 brainstorming questions. Yeah, so I talked about this little project that I have, and I don't know, I just went on and on about talking about this. Okay, so which objective would you like to talk about? My ability to speak French. And then what? What are the steps to accomplish the objective if you were delegated to someone else to do? I got to create these calibration documents. I got to define the training process for the robot and the user. I got to develop communication and interactions with an AI study buddy. So this is what we're talking about is that I want to create a robot I'm calling him iRobot right now. I don't think that's a real name. But I wrote a robot study buddy. And what's the idea behind the iRobot study buddy? It's like basically like even when you have a tutor, one of the problems that you're going to find when you first start learning a language and you start working with a tutor is that the tutor is often speaking with words that you don't understand and they don't even realize it because their language is so advanced and they've never learned it as like a new student of the language as a second language. So they're going to say all kinds of stuff and they'll just if you don't know what they're saying, they'll just say it louder or faster, you know? I mean, unless you have a really good tutor that has a really good grasp about how to teach you, like step by step, then that's possible. But I don't know. So I decided I'm going to design my own tutor, and it's going to be my study buddy. They say that the best way to learn something is to teach it, and so I'm going to teach my robot French, which doesn't really make sense because if we're using a large language model, it already speaks French better than I do. So I have to figure out how I'm going to calibrate this robot so that it doesn't actually speak French or that it is limited to using only the words which I give it. Now, that's not the only problem. So that was just like one issue. One issue is like, okay, so um, yeah, so this is all talking about like, okay, so we got internet, computer. Oh, it's talking about now, I don't know. I went through all this craziness and it eventually created a plan. And I think it was maybe a crazy this is what it actually did. It said, okay, I'm going to create an AI persona team. Here are the AI personas designated to build your French learning system, reflecting the skills and tasks identified in your previous answers. There's the master planning and orchestrator. There's the language pedagogy expert. There's the core AI and systems developer. There's the platform and content integrator. There's the user experience and motivation AI. There's the quality assurance AI. There's the external technology scout. Then we're going to create this Gantt chart. So the Gantt chart, look at this. Define a detailed project scope and success metrics. Research and select foundational AI technologies. Outline AI study buddy core features and calibration strategy. Outline AI first blog platform features and structure. Develop detailed project plan and initial Gantt chart. Develop dynamic. What's the next one? Develop 10 dynamic calibration document system. Implement learning synchronization logic. Design and develop AI study buddy interaction model. Integrate core LLM speech technologies. Initialize unit integrate testing by study buddy core. Set up hosting environments. Develop blog architecture. Integrate generative AI for blog content. Develop integrate AI for video presentations. I mean, none of this is real. It's like this is how you would do it if you had like all the capabilities already to be able to do it. But like there's so many assumptions here that you're actually going to be able to do any of this. Anyways, so it was pretty intense. And then I was like, well, okay. I ended up like uploading a whole bunch of documents from other projects because I wanted to have access to other documentation of other projects that I've done in the past. And if it was able to have access to other projects and documentations in the past, then it would be able to learn from those experiences that I've had with other AI development projects in the past. And at the end of the day, which the only thing you really have in this world is your access to AI robots. Now, access to AI is very similar to access to people. If you have people that can do work for you, then might as well just use those people to do the work. Problem is, how do you manage people? And like, what kind of people are you going to manage? And what are you going to manage those people in order? What are they doing? And so you have to have a project concept. You have to like decide what is it that you're actually trying to do in this life. What are the things you're trying to build? What are you trying to sell? What are you trying to be? What are you trying to do? All these questions are core to your process with working with AI. So, this is just me uploading a lot of the data that I used in the past and then recalibrating the concepts and then talking about the different personas and trying to figure out what does this actual plan look like, and then how do we turn that into 5 core documents. Based on my experience with working with AI in order to create software, I've decided that there's basically 5 core documents. As long as you maintain these 5 core documents, and then you learn how to work with your AI personas, then over time you're going to improve your ability to produce things with AI. So now I'm starting to see why they cut off my access today. Anyways, yeah. Now I got a big problem because tomorrow I got like my 10 o'clock in Tbilisi. Hi, it's 10 o'clock in Tbilisi, my morning program. And I'm not going to have AI for that morning program because I reached my limit. All right. Now, what about these documents? Actually, is this an updated document of some kind? Team operations manual? Is this 1.1 or 1.0? Okay, so here's my 1.0. Now, what happened is basically, what do I mean by like in the world, in the future? The danger of future is that men become robots. All right, so what happened here is in my last project, I was using 2 different AI models that I calibrated. And I call one of the AI models an architect, and then the other one I call it a liaison. What does it mean? Basically, the architect, it takes on the persona of a chief systems architect, a technology strategist, technical risk assessor, and an innovation lead. And they're kind of like, what does the big picture look like? So this is kind of like a left brain, right brain kind of thing, where you have like one side of the brain is kind of like a big mapping, keep like the big picture focus on what's going on in the big picture, and then the other side is like process facilitator, strategic analyst, planning documenter, conceptual prompt engineer. This thing is working directly with your IDE. An IDE is something that you can use to make software, and then my IDEs are also AI based IDEs. So I'm like using other software development tools, then I use these AIs to talk to these other AIs. What's the result? Well, nothing so far, because like I think that the wheels are spinning. I think something's happening, but I don't actually have any results yet. So the only thing I can prove that's happening is that I'm working with AI. And I'm gotten used to the process of working with my architect and liaison, which is good. So these you could consider these as some type of relationship, right? This is my relationship with AI. I have a relationship with AI when it appears in the form of a software architect, and I have experience with AI when it appears in the form of a liaison. Basically, I'm a project manager and I'm using it to communicate with other AIs. And then also sometimes I get them to communicate with each other. Now, when it comes to this iRobot, so I call this the boardroom table. So basically, because I've added a third AI, so now I have a new AI called Arrowhead, and maybe I should change this arrowhead to iRobot, but not really. I don't know what to call it, so I just used arrowhead for now. I don't know what the language, what it should be, because we're going to be talking about how to learn the language. We're going to talk about developing some software. We're going to be talking about writing some blogs. We're going to be talking about whatever that means. We're going to be talking about whatever that means. We're going to be talking about whatever that means. Now, the craziest thing is I had to teach it how to like create a. So what I want is that I need AI to communicate with itself. Now, sometimes it has like kind of like logic. It goes through like a logical pattern and says, okay, I got to do this, then I got to do this, then I got to do this. Now, I want the AI to go through its logical patterns, but the thing is that I want to define the people who are in the room. So currently there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 people that I'm going to learn how to work with. Basically, there's 3 people. But when I calibrate my AI tool, I'm basically telling it that I want you guys to have a conversation with each other. So I provide different rules and guidance about how they should communicate about things. And the hope is that by communicating with each other, at some point, I'm going to get some kind of output, which is better than the output I would get if I was to do this some other way. Like if I was just going to have one AI do the whole thing. So I don't know. I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. I don't really care. What I care about is the process of learning. And basically, there it goes. So this is the iRobot Study Buddy project. It seems to be taking a little bit of shape. And then here's the documentation. I mean, we could take a little quick look. So it actually starts on this side. A project blueprint. This document serves as a comprehensive foundational blueprint for an AI-first vibe coding blog platform. It consolidates core information regarding the projects. Now, the thing is that I kind of made some changes to this. This document defines the collaborative framework, operational processes, sprint methodology, AI interaction best practices, AI persona and capabilities definitions, AI lifecycle management protocols for an AI-first blog platform. It guides how the user, project manager, PM, Arrowhead, its potential distinct architect liaison AI instance configuration will work together. It is a living document to be updated with learnings. Sounds like somebody dropped something. All right, now we got user PM centricity. We got AI platform. So I don't know what this thing is called. They call it dogfooding. I have no idea what that means. AI first execution, iterative development and learning, AI collaboration model roles and persona. Now I made some changes to this. This is like the 1.1 version, but it's still not quite what I want it to be. It doesn't quite understand the thing about. I mean, actually, it should at this point. Yeah, I see. User project manager and corporate menu roles, executive. What are these key responsibilities for the project manager? This is me, okay? And then now I added something called a RACI matrix because I thought that could help with the communication. I added some other interesting concepts. Here's all of our people. Here's Lingo Learn called Lexi. He's the language pedagogy. We got Dev Synth, which is called Dev, which is about development. We got Blogsmith. We got Engage. Here's Engage. Evaluating, what is it for? Coach, designing engaging interactions. Huh. All right, so this is gonna like explaining, what is this anyways? This is about the AI first vibe coding blog platform. This is the team operations manual. All right, so we got a team operations manual. So that's what I created. I created a team's operations manual today, which is kind of an update for this team operations manual. This is the 1.1 version. Now, after you got, then the next, oh wait, no, this is your team operations manual. And this is the project blueprint. Now, if we go to the project blueprint, I don't think we have an updated version of the project blueprint. Because the project blueprint right now is actually, there's three core things that we're going to be focusing on. One is to create an AI first web blog platform. And we might need to simplify that. It might be better if it's more simple. And then next is to create learning experiences for French and potentially Russian. And then finally, we got the iRobot study buddy experience who learns at your speed. I think that's what we're trying to do here. It's the plan, Stan. That is the plan, Stan. There you go. So we got our textbook, we got our exercise book, we got our, what is this? We got our videos, and then what's this? The student tutor practice. So this, we're gonna replace this with iRobot. You got it? You see what I'm trying to do here? Get it, got it, good, gone, great. All right. Set all this up for what? Where's the boardroom table anyways? I don't even think it's in here. Boardroom table. I think that's the document is called boardroom table. I'm not sure that's exactly what that is. Let's call it alchemy. How about alchemy? I like the word alchemy. Alchemy. You have to change it here first. Boardroom table. Alchemy. I think that's how you do it. Alchemy. Creative Center. All right, we got the Alchemy Creative Center. And our dinner's ready as well. And does it really have to be authenticated? I don't need to be able to see this. There, Alchemy Creative Center. Here it is. So we got our Alchemy Creative Center, and then what happens next is that's going to open up to this window. And let me sneeze. Okay, I didn't sneeze. Now I want to move this up a little bit. There we go. There. That is exactly what I want it to look like. So let's begin. We're not really going to do the AI blog platform today, but we're going to look at the learning experiences for French and potentially Russian. And we're also not going to look at the iRobot Study Buddy today. So we're just basically here. Now, this is what? So this is our textbook. Here's our exercise. And here's our textbook. We're back to unit 1. And now we have a much, much better understanding. Now, there is some stuff earlier, like some numbers, pronunciation, things like that. I do not want to deal with that. I don't think it's just not my thing. I did do some work with that earlier, and now I got decent pronunciation, but I'm sorry, I don't think most people even care about pronunciation as much as I do. And I think that there's plenty of resources for people to do that right now. Okay, so let's bring this over here, bring this over here. Now, am I going to watch these videos again? Probably. I mean, why not? I don't mind watching the videos again. Let's go back. Back to lesson number 1. This is going to take at least the rest of the year. The spring challenge, it's summer. That means we got 6 months until January 1st, until December 1st, till winter. 6 months. Wow, 6 months. This is insane. It's going to take longer than this. Is going to take a year. Oh boy, it's going to take longer than a year. All right. Well, anyways, that's in place. That's in place. That's in place. This is from before. Bring this over here. Why do we have a Google? Oh, that's when I went for a 5.5 kilometer walk the other day. And Gordon hears the alarm and he wants to go outside. All right, so next time, what are we going to do? It sounds like we better, next time, we're gonna create a few exercises for the first part of Unit 1. Yep, that's basically what we're gonna do. First steps. I don't know why we have first steps here. Delete that. Delete that. User experience. Languages. I don't know what we're gonna do with this learning stuff. I think we're gonna throw it in the history. Gordon. Yeah, I know. So we're here. We need to create an exercise, and we need to finish the calibration docs, and then have a meeting with the team to discuss potential exercises. Potentially, maybe look at the activity section of Dave's ESL Cafe. Thing, I remember this thing from 2003. That's probably what we need. Now, then we're going to change these into toggle code to-do list. The to-do list. And now we can close this. Well, let's just leave it open. This stuff, I need to work on that stuff. What about pre? Okay, so I don't need this open. This is way, I don't even know when this is. This is Notebook LM. This, yeah, I'm still doing this. I read it with my tutor today. I read with my tutor for like an hour just now. Yeah, I'm actually considering keeping that open. And then we got, I don't even know what that is. And I don't know what this is. And we don't really need to read the Book of Mormon anymore. There we go. There we go. Now, if it looks like that, I think probably that's decent. Okay. Good. Well, thanks for joining me. We got lots of work to do, and we'll talk to you next time.